Kenya has introduced measures that would open up commercial farming and lay a foundation for agribusiness. The various measures will support maize farmers set up infrastructure to dominate the domestic market. For instance, going forward, the charges paid for drying of maize at National Cereal and Produce Board facilities have been reviewed downwards by 50% from the current 40 Kenya shillings per unit to 20 Kenya shillings. National government, in partnership with county governments, will now invest in maize dryers, which will be made available in all areas of the country by the coming planting season. These dryers will be owned by the community through farmers' cooperatives. In Kenya, maize is the staple for 96% of Kenya's 50 million plus people and is the primary source of aflatoxin exposure in the country. The legally allowable level of aflatoxin contamination in food for human consumption set by the Kenya Regulatory Authority is no more than 10 parts per billion. The new arrangements introduced by government to boost agriculture in the country will also eliminate food loss and the risk of aflatoxin contamination. National Cereals Board also will lease out idle stores to farmers and traders who will use those facilities for storage at affordable cost. The Cereal Board will also review their charges from 10 Kenya shillings per bag per month to 3 Kenya shillings per bag per month. The government recommended prices for maize bag of 90 kg will now be 2,500 Kenya shillings. This will eliminate exploitation of small-scale farmers by brokers. Millers who for years have had free ride colluding with brokers in Kenya is being directed to ensure that they procure commodities locally and prioritize mopping up local produce before buying internationally or regionally. Ministry of Agriculture is also engaging input suppliers to ensure that availability of agri-products are available at affordable prices. It is not only maize millers who have been directed to buy locally available stocks before considering importation. Also, wheat farmers too will now benefit in the local market. Enforcement of the new measures will require a whole government approach. That is why the present directive is significant. It will disrupt illicit trade and help put money in the pockets of legitimate traders and farmers. Imports from the neighboring countries will be pushed down to levels that makes imports only useful for industrial cattle feed. There's been a lot of arrogance from the neighboring countries that Kenya was a net importer of food. The establishment of the Kenya Transport and Logistic Network will dismantle corruption structures at the port, lower the cost of doing business for farmers, and assure farmers of access to quality inputs. The merger has disrupted enablers of illegal imports. Corruption at our ports and border points have undermined the country's food security and national security interests. The chairman of Industrial and Commercial Development Corporation heads the board of Kenya Transport and Logistics Network. He will now ensure that port authorities disrupt illicit trafficking that undercut the country's agro-processing businesses. Hopefully, with the new outfit, now business analysts attached to Industrial and Commercial Development Corporation will be able to articulate the interest of the farmers at the ports and border points as insiders. Government now has the necessary leadership in place to enforce the present directives. The underground commerce that has thrived at the port and border points have been disrupted. Counterfeit merchandise coming from the region and Asia will now struggle to find markets in the country. The new directives come with enormous opportunities for companies such as Foods Processors Limited, that have created opportunities for 5,000 farmers at the coast, will now be protected from unfair trade practices. There will now be synergy to fight illicit trade. In the next video, I'll be discussing crime convergence, the links between illegal fishing and counterfeit goods, and how Kenya is dismantling threat networks in the counterfeits hotspot.
Jamanga jago koma yandu meka uzipa